Okay, Joe. So what would your parenting tip be for the Flow Collective?
Firstly, I'm going to just put it on the record that Jay, you asked me to do this at a second's notice, and this is what flow does. You have something ready at all times. My biggest thing right now is to choose which one's the most relevant. So I'm just going to go with what comes to mind right now, and that's
Perfect.
language. The
Language.
biggest thing that you can teach your children is energy. The second biggest thing you can teach your children is language. But everything that you teach your children comes from a basis of teaching them how to love, because love is the highest frequency. And that's what we're created with. We're created with agape, pure love. And it's the world that we come into that changes that, while we create barriers and resistances based on experiences that we have. 0 to 7 are formative years for children. So they are the most important years for a child that will define the type of adult they become. And it's the most stressful years as a parent. They're the ones where we get frustrated. They're the ones where we're tired. They're the ones where we have no idea what we're doing. And if we don't recognize how important those first 7 years are, we can actually inadvertently cause damage. Language is huge. I teach my kids NLP techniques like permission frame. Ask me for something. Don't demand it. Mama, can I have? Mama, is it okay? I talk to my kids like they're adults. They're 14 and 11. It's fine now for that to happen. But even when they were 6 and 3, I still did it that way because I wanted them to understand the diversity of language. And if you want your child to be something, you start teaching them when they're young. I taught my kids about wonderment. My son and I sit and lay out under the stars and we'll look up at the sky and we'll play silly games about, I wonder what's going on up there. How many planets do you think are up there? How many galaxies do you think there really are? Do you think that the Hubble telescope will show us that there's more in that big black hole? What's going on with that? How does it work? And questions about wonder and awe to help their brains to just grow, because we live in a society where we're constantly busy and we are in a perpetuating matrix, which is you have to earn money, and to earn money you have to have a job, and then by the way the banks are going to put up the interest rates, and then by the way it's going to get more expensive to live, and then by the way there's going to be people demanding money off you. This is the
Yep.
world that we live in, and if we don't teach our children how to not just function in that world but to thrive with their understanding of language, and therefore that will allow them to see a broader picture despite how much we try and minimize and create tunnel vision. And the other thing is energy. I teach my kids that energy is everlasting, and that when it comes to you, you bundle it up and you decide how it goes back out, which is why I teach them about love. Because if someone does something to you that hurts you, or if you're upset about something that you maybe even don't understand, we tend to react. But what if they took the understanding that I have this feeling for 90 seconds? And if I breathe through that 90 seconds and I slow my mind down and I slow my heart down and my physiological response is slightly more under control, then how I respond to that feeling will likely be vastly different. And I can transfer that bundle of energy of anger, of frustration, and send it back out to the world as something less,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have such an impact on people. And
Such a
love
negative
is
impact.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love is absolutely everything. And we need to teach our kids unconditional love. And that's the best gift that we can give them.
Joe, I gotta say, for putting you on the spot, that was amazing. That was amazing. And
Thanks.
that's the kind of stuff that I really enjoy about this parenting group, is the parents in it have these ideas as just, that's part of their core, and that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's wonderful, wonderful advice to give out to the group. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks, Jay.
Anyway, you're fantastic.